Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the X sums files. Ooh, this is Mystery Meat by rockratzero, and this is listed by testers as one of the hardest puzzles in the pack, and I haven't tried this one yet, so I am terrified. So yeah, this has ambiguous clues in it and is playing with multiple constraints. So this is going to be interesting to see how it goes. I'm hoping I can do this in my first solve. If I can't, I will get help. So, of course, there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, as well as to where you can download the entire pack, though I expect by the time this video has come out, most of the puzzles in the pack have already been out. So if you haven't already grabbed the pack, feel free. It's good to have a PDF of puzzles so you can find them later. Nothing else to call out. Let's go through the rules because it could take a bit of time. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Each row or column has clues, has both a sandwich and an X sums clue. The solver has to determine which is which. So this row, one of these 7s is an X sum, one of them is a sandwich. In this row, one of them is an X sum, one of them is a sandwich. In this column, one of them is an X sum, one of them is a sandwich. And I don't know which is which is going to be terrifying. Now, how does an X sum work? So let's say this 10 was an X sum. What this would mean is a number outside the grid gives the sum of the first n digits in that row or column, where n is the digit in the cell closest to the given clue. So if this is an X sum clue and this is a 3, that means those 3 digits sum to 10. If this is a 2, then it would mean those 2 digits sum to 10. Similarly, if this 13 is an X sum clue and this is a 4, that would mean those 4 digits sum to 13. If this is an X sums clue and this is a 4, that means those 4 digits sum to 15. That's how that works. Sandwich. The numbers outside the grid give the values of the digits between the 1 and 9 in that row or column. Whichever one of these is a sandwich clue, so this 13 is a sandwich clue, then if this was a 1 in the grid, or basically it means that in this row there are digits summing to 13 between the 1 and the 9. If this 4 is a sandwich clue, then it means in this column between the 1 and the 9 there are digits summing to 4. If this 20 is a sandwich clue, it means in this column between the 1 and the 9 there are digits summing to 20. Holy cow. And then equal sums. Digits on each diagonal of the X in the grid sum to the same value. So those 3 digits have the same sum as those 3 digits. This is terrifying. So basically what that means is those 2 digits have the same sum as those 2 digits because they share that. But this is terrifying to me. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So we know there's a 7 sandwich in this row. We know there's a 13 sandwich in this row. We know there's a 15 sandwich in this row, and we know there's a 7 sandwich in this row. Because one of these is a sandwich clue, and therefore, whichever one it is, it doesn't matter which one it is, there is a 7 sandwich clue. What we don't know is which one is the X sum. If the 3 is a sandwich clue, then it is a single 3 between the 1 and the 9, because the 1 and the 9 being the crust or the bread or whatever you want to call it of the sandwich means you can't use the 1 or the 9 in the sum. So if it was a 2-digit sum, the smallest it could be if it's not a 1-digit sum, the minimum digits would be 2 and 3 summing to 5. So if the 3 is the sandwich, it's a single 3 between the 1 and the 9. But I could do 3 as a 2-1 here. If that is an X sum. If this is an X sum clue, it's a 2 here with a 1 here, because, oh Lord, I have to go through all this logic. So weird, because you can't do any X sum clue. You can, unless it's a 1 clue, you can never put a 1 next to it if it's an X sum clue. But it also, if it's an X sum clue, it can't be bigger than, the number can't be bigger than what the triangular number for it is. And a 3-digit number is 1 plus 2 plus 3. The minimum a 3-digit number could be is 6 if it's the X sum clue. How am I supposed to even get started? that's a sandwich clue. So this is an X-sum clue. And I'm going to mark an X-sum clue by putting a yellow circle there because I don't want to do highlighting because I might want the highlighting for the sandwich. So how do I know this is a sandwich clue? Well, how would I do a 4 X-sum? The minimum a 3-digit could be is 6, so it can't be that. If it was a 2-digit number, then this would have to be a 2 and this would have to be a 2. And if it's a 1-digit number, this would need to be a 1 clue. So this is a sandwich clue. So the 5 is an X-sum clue. Now I can't do 5 in a 1-digit. This must be a 2 and this must be a 3 because I can't do 5 in 1 digit. A 1 digit is always 1 and the minimum for 3 digits is 6. So this is a 2 and a 3. So now can that be an X? That can't be an X-sum clue. The only way to make this an X-sum clue is for this to be 2 followed by 1. And this can't be a 2. So this is an X-sum clue. And this is a sandwich clue. So somewhere in this column is 1 and 9 with a 3 between it. But I can't put, right, so let's start doing some sandwich colouring. And the way you do I do sandwich colouring is green is a digit that cannot be a 1 or 9. Now we know that the 1 or 9 has a 3 between it. And only a 3 directly between it. So it has to go 139 or 931. And I can't put a 3 in any of those. So if this was a 1 or a 9, this would have to be a 3. And it can't be. If this was a 1 or a 9, this would have to be a 3. So neither of those can be a 1 or a 9. So there's 1s and 9s in here. But I could do... And this is a 19 X-sum. Right. 1s and 9s. None of these digits can be 1 or 9. Because a 1 clue is automatically a 1, and a 9 clue automatically includes all of the digits in the row. Or no, that is not true. That is not true. That is absolutely not true because some of these are sandwich clues. But this one can't be a 1 or a 9 because this is an X-sum clue. And this can't be a 1 or a 9. Man, I'm going to make that mistake a lot, aren't I? So 139, 139, or cross with the 3, yeah. So this can't be a 3. So 3 is in one of those. This is a 4 sandwich, and it must have only a single 4, similar to the way that the 3 in the sandwich, similar to the way the 3 in the sandwich needs to be on its own. The 4 needs to be on its own, because I can't use a 1, and I can't use 2, 2, and 3 plus anything else is 5. So how do I do 19? I can't do it in 2 digits. The next one would need to be a 17. I could do it in 3, 4, or 5. I can't do 6. The minimum that 6 digits sums to is 1 through 6, which is 21. So this is 3, 4, or 5. How do I get anything in this puzzle? It can't be a 3 because the 3 is in the sandwich. This is a 4 or a 5. If this is a 5, those 4 digits have to sum to 14. How could I do that? Because if I use a 1 or a 9, if this is a 4, they sum to 15. And then I could do 139 with a 2. But if it's 5, these sum to 14, which means I couldn't use 139 unless I did it near the top. I don't know what that's doing. One of these is a 7x sum, which must have a 2 in it. Right, one of these is a 7x sum. And this can't be the 7x sum. I can't do 7 in 1 and I can't do 7 in 4. This is not the x sum. This is the x sum. Which means it's not 1 or 9. And the reason for that is, how could this be a 7x sum? If it's a 1, it's a 1 clue. If it's 4, it's a minimum of 10. So this is the 7x sum, and it must be a 2, which means this is a 5, which means it's also not. And there is a 7 sandwich in this, which is either a 7 on its own, or this is a 4, and those are the crusts. Okay. Now, can that be an x sum now? An 8 can only be done. Yeah, this would be a 3. Yeah, this can't be an x sum. This has to be an x sum down here. And the reason for that is, how could this be an x sum? If this 8 was an x sum, I can't use 1, I can't use 2. This would have to be 3, and 3 and 5 is 8, and that digit would have to be 0. So this is an x sum, and it can't be 1 or 9, and it's an x sum with a 6. So it's 2 or 3. If it's 3, this goes 3, 2, 1. If it's 2, it's 2, 4. So this is either, if this is 3, this has to be a 1 or a 2, and if this is a 2, this is a 4. And this is a sandwich clue. And this is a sandwich clue. There's a 7 sandwich in row 8. Could this be an x sum? No. How do you do a 7x sum? So again, it has to be either 2 or 3. It can't be 1 or 4. 4 sums to a minimum of 10. But you can't do a 3-digit 7x sum, because a 3-digit 7x sum would need to be 1, 2, 4. So in order for this to be an x sum, it would need to be a 2, and it can't be. So this is not the x sum. This is the x sum, which means it's not 1 or 9. And the only way to do a 7x sum is 2, 5, which means this is a 4. And those two digits have to sum to 10. But the 2 means this isn't a 2. So 3, 1, 2. And I could go 3, 1, 2, 4. Hang on. 3, 1, 2. Would mean I've got 1, 2, and this would have to be an 8 sum. So it'd have to be 1, 2, 6, 9. And if it's 2, 4, I've got freedom. But this is a 7 sandwich. So yeah, I know there's a 7 sandwich, but this is the 7x sum, which is done. Maybe I can mark that off. This is done. This is not. This is not. This is done. This is done. Okay, I'm finding stuff here, but I still feel very out of my league. So the 4 sandwich is now in one of those, but it can't be here. The 4 is in one of those. So neither of these is a 1 or a 9 because of the 4 here. So it's 149, 149, or 149. Okay. So, could that be an X sum? If it is, it would be 3 or 4. If it's 4, it would have to go 4, 1, and these would be 2, 3, because the only way to do it in 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one could not, if this is a 4, this couldn't be 2, 3, or 4. So it'd be 4, 1, and these 4, 1, and then these would be 2, 3. And then there'd be a 30 sandwich. Which wouldn't work. Because if this was 4, 1, and these were 2, 3, how would I do the 30 sandwich? Because there's the sum of 45 in the column. So I would need digits. Now, the crusts of the sandwich, or the bread of the sandwich, whatever you want to call it, sums to 10. So the magical maximum for a sandwich clue is 35. So if this was a 1, I would need digits outside the sandwich that sum to 5. Well, the only way I could do that is put 1, 9 here and make those sum to 5 with a 1 and a 4, but that would repeat 1 in the column. So if this was an X sum, it couldn't be a 4. It would need to be a 3. And those digits would need to sum to 7, and that's fine. I could do 1, 6, 2. I couldn't do 2, 5. It'd be 1, 6. If this was the X sum, maybe I can look at this the other way. But if this is 3, these could be 1, 6. They couldn't be 2, 5. They couldn't be 3, 4. So these would be 1, 6. But this would have to be the 1, because again, I need digits outside the sandwich summing to 5. So it'd be 1 here and a 9 here and 2 here. So it'd be 3, 1, 6, 9, 2. But that seems okay. But I don't know that this is the X sum. Could this be the X sum? The minimum 30 can be is 5, 5, 6, or 7. Because if you did it in 4, it would be 4 plus the maximum that 3 digits could be, which would be 7, 8, 9, which is only 28. 4 plus 7, 8, 9, which is 24. 4 plus 24. So it has to be at least 5. And it can't be 8, because if this is an 8, it's all of those, and that digit would need to be a 15, which doesn't work. So it's 5, 6, or 7 if this is the X sum, but there's lots of possibilities there. So the 10 sandwich, if this is a 7, those sum to 15, but that still leaves me heaps of possibility to do 1, 9 with a 10 in the middle. So I don't understand. That's not the place to look. I got... I don't feel like I've got anything. Could that be the crust of a sandwich? This would have to go 5, 3, which would make that 2 and that 4. That works. I'm trying to see what cells I can eliminate from being crusts of sandwiches. Oh, good Lord, I've got nothing. Three has to be in one of these because I can't put the crusts down here anymore. So 3 is in one of those two. Because I've got a 3 between a 1 and a 9 in this column. But that, if I could force that, if this is 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 6, 9, seems to work. Because if this is 3, 1, then that starts the sandwich, which needs to sum to 8. Or I could do 3, 1, 8, 9. Except it'd be 3, 1, 2. So it'd be 3, 1, 2, 6, 9. So if this is a 3, it's 3, 1, 2, 6, 9. And this would be a 1, which would mean this would either have to be 4, 3 or 7, 9. So 1, 4, 3, 9, or this would be 7, 9. That's 2. I could still go crust 4, 3 here, and that would still work as well. Holy cow! $13. 3, 4 only. This is a 3 or a 4. If this is a 3, those digits have to sum to 10. They couldn't be 1, 9. They couldn't be 2, 8. They couldn't be 3, 7. These would be 4, 6. So if this is a 3, these would be 4, 6. If this is a 4, however, those digits need to sum to 9 without a 4. So they'd be 1, 2, 6 or 1, 3, 5. So this would be a 2 or a 5, and there'd be a 1 in here. But that's if that is the X sum. I don't know what the obvious... There's something here, and I don't know what it is. Like, one of these is a 13X sum. Right, it's not this one. This can't be the 13X sum. Why did I put 3 in here? Right, 3 is in here because of this sandwich clue. This can't be a 3 and it can't be a 4 because of this sandwich clue. How do I do 13? I can't do it in 2. That would need to be 11. I can't do it in 5. The minimum is 15. This can't be a 3 or a 4. This is not the X sum. This is the 13X sum. And it must be 3 or 4 because it can't be 2. And this is a 13 sandwich. Okay. If that was a 15 sandwich, so if that was a 15X sum, it would have to be a 5. And these would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 6, 7, 8, 9, and that doesn't work. Right. Oh, my Lord. Okay. So if this was the X sum, hang on. No, that does work. No, that does work. This would be the 5. These would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 6, 7, 8, 9. But I can put a 9 somewhere. I'd have to put 15 between. But I could do like 3, 4, 8, 9, 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, and that does work. No problem. If this is a 3, those sum to 10. If this is a 4, those sum to 9. If that's a 15, that's a 3, 4, or 5. Can I stop this being a 5? If that's a 5, that's a 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see it. I mean, there's a bit of restriction on the low digits in here, but like 5, with these being 1, 2, 3, 4, that one can't be 2 or 3. That one can't be 4, but there's... And then I have to make the 15 sandwich work, but there's ways of doing that. I could still make this 1, 3, 4 with a 2 here, and then put an 8 here, and then a 9, and that would just work. I mean, there's a 2 in here with the 3. There's a 2 in here with the 3, so that can't be the 3. If this was the 3, then these would be 1, 9, and there's no 2. So there's no 3 there. So this is crust. Because if the 3 is here, those are the 1, 9, and if the 3 is here, those are the 1, 9. So this is a 1 or a 9 and not a 2, and this is a 2, 3 pair. Okay. So I don't have that. But I do have that. And one of those is a 1, 9. So this can't be the 4 anymore, or those would need to be a 1, 9. And now I've got the same thing. This has to be a 1, 9 to pair up with one of those two. So, right. But I can't put them both here, can I? I could go there, 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 and there, and that leaves me... Well, all of these are green now. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5, 6, 7, and 8. But that could still be a 5 if it's the X sum value. But these are green as well. I don't think these can... Oh, maybe these can go in the same direction. Like these could be 1, 9, and those could... Oh, no. They could go this way. These could be 1, 9, and then I could put 1, 9 up here. But these are all green. The 13 sandwich has to take at least 2 digits. So this is now green. Because if I start here, it includes those. If I start here, it includes those. So one of those is a 1, 9, and one of those is a 1, 9. Okay, that was a deduction. Was it a usable deduction? This is green now. And we know the sandwich is an 8 sandwich. So does that stop this? If this is 3, 1, yeah, if this is 3, it would go 1. This can't be a 3 anymore. Because if this was a 3, it would have to go 1, 2 to complete the 6x sum, because I can't put a 2 here. So it's 3, 1, 2. And then the only way to do 6 would be 4 and 9, and that doesn't work. This is a 2 now, which means this is a 4 and therefore green. This is crazy. And this clue is now done. And now I've got to figure out where to put the 8 sandwich. I don't know. There's lots of possibilities, I think. 4 is in one of those. 2 is in one of those. 2 and 4 are in there. Sorry, I'm very lost. This is a 19x sum. These digits had to sum to 10. So 2, 8 or 3, 7. That's a 7 or an 8. So it doesn't go down. This is a 1 or a 9. Which means this is the 3, this is the 2, this is the 8. And this sandwich clue is now done. And this can't be a 1 or a 9 now, because if this is a 1, 9, these would all be green, and those would need to be 1, 9, and they can't be because I've got to put 3 down there. This is the 1, 9. This is hard. This is 4. There's no 4 here. And this 4 sandwich clue is done. Doesn't stop this from being 5, 2, 4, 1, 3. Or 3, 1. And then I could go 7, 8, 9. One of these is 1, 9. So one of those has to be 1, 9. So this is, yeah, this is green. What am I talking about? That is just green. Okay. This is 5 and 8, isn't it? 1, these, yeah. These can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7. So these, 1, 1, 3, 9. Yeah, these are 6 and 7. But I don't need a 7. I could still go crust 4, 3, crust. This is a 4 now. This is a 4 cell 13 sum. So those digits need to sum to 9 without using a 4 or a 3. Those are 1, 2, 6. That's not a 1 because it can't be crust. So, and the sum is 13. Which now, there's no 6 here. If this is 1, 2, 6, I'd need a 5. If this is 1, I'd need 6, 7, 9. If this is right, so this has to be the crust here, doesn't it? If this is 1, I get 2, 6, and I need another digit. If this is 1, I could go 6, 7. But either way, if this was the crust, I can't do 13. Oh no, 1, 6, 7. But this can't be the crust because I can't make those sum to 13. This is not crust. This is always the crust. And this is a 9 because this is 1, 2, 6. If this is the 1, this is 8, and that's a 5. If this is the 1, this is a 6, and that is a 7. There is a 1 down here. So there is a 9 in here. But there's a 1. This could still be a 3, couldn't it? No, hang on. 3, 9 would need a 4. Hang on, this can't be a 3 anymore. This is the sandwich sum. Because to be an X sum, it can't be a 5 because there's a 9 in here. It can't be 1, so it'd have to be 3. And once I add 3 and 9 together, I'm at 12 and I need another 3. This is the sandwich sum. So we do have the X sum over here. This puzzle is insane, Rockrat. So this has to be a 5 and these are the 1, 3. And this is not crust. This is insane. There's no 5 in those. This is 7 or 8 only, which means this is the 5, which means I need these to sum to 8 to get me to the total. So this is the 1 and this is a 2, 6. This is bonkers. And this is the sandwich for this. So it's either 1, 8, 9. Because I can't do 2, 6, 3, 5. So it's either 1. Oh, yeah. It's either 1, 3, 5, 9 or 1, 8, 9. And I don't know which. So is it this 15? If this is the 1, this is a 3. These would need to sum to 12. They couldn't be 9, 3, 8, 4 or 7, 5. So this can't be the 1 because these, or could I do 3 digits summing to 12? No, because I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. The minimum would be 6, 7, which is 13. No, this has to be the 1, and this is the 3. And now these are all from 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be the 9. These have to sum to 15, and the minimum I could make them sum to, yeah, I need 2 digits. I can't make 3 digits sum to 15. So this is the sum, this is the crust, and this is not the crust. And these now have to sum to 15. I can't do 6, 9 because 6, 9 requires one of the crust digits. So this is a 7, 8, this is a 9, this is a 6. The 6 means this is the 2 and this is the 6. And this is the 8 that completes the 8 sandwich. So the 8 sandwich is now done. The 15 sandwich and the 15x sum are done. These are 3, 6, and 7. This is breaking me. I can see Sudoku in box 6, with this being a 7 and this being an 8. These are 3 and 5. The 8 comes out of there. In fact, this is a 6. These are 1, 2, 4, and 7. There's possibly something I can do here. But can I do a 30 sandwich now? I don't think I can. How would I do a 30 sandwich? The maximum digits I could use in 4 cells are 8, 7, 6, and 5, which is only 26. I can't do 30 here. I can't do 30 down here. 30 is the X sum. And 10 is the sandwich. So 2539 could work. Or if it goes down, I need those two digits to sum to 10 and that to be a 9. But that can't be a 9 because that's an X sum clue. So this can't be a 1 or a 9. So I can't do 10 down here in a single cell. So the sandwich can't go down. The sandwich has to go up. I can't do a 2-cell 10 sum. So it has to be a 3-cell 10 sum. And the only 3-cell possible 10 sum sandwich, because you can't use a 1, is 2, 3, 5. So this is a 2, this is a 3. There's no 3 here. This is beautiful. This is 9. And this is part of the 7 sandwich, which can't go this way now. If it went this way, this would be part of the 7 sandwich, and I'd need a 3-cell 7 sandwich, which needs to be 1, 2, but the minimum in 3 cells is 2, 3, 4, and without a 2, it's actually 3, 4, 6, which is way above 7. So it must go this way. This is the 1, and this is the 7. And these are all green. These 3 digits, 4, 6, 8. And the 10 sandwich is done, but I haven't done the 30x sum. I can't do 30 in 4. This is 6, 7, or 8. I can't do 30 in 8 because, let's talk about 80s because that would need to sum to 15. If this is a 7, those 2 digits would need to sum to 15, and they can with 9, 6. If this is a 6, those 3 digits would need to sum to 15, which would be 9, 3, and 3, which doesn't work. This is a 7. This is a 6. This is a 7. Those need to sum to 15, making that the 6 and this not the 6. This is also not the 6. And these digits, well, this isn't the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. These are 4 and 8. And this can't be a 4. That's the 8. That's the 4. And now this is done. The 7 sandwich now, this can't be crossed because it would go this way and cross the 8. So this is not crossed. And now I can't do the 7 in a single cell. It has to be a 2-cell sandwich sum, meaning this is the 3 and these are 1, 9. And the 7 sandwich is done. This 7 sandwich is done. I can't believe I'm solving this. Like BremSter the idiot is solving this. This 19 clue is done. This is a 13 sandwich, which is done. So the only thing I haven't done now is column 7. So whether it's a 13 or a 20 sum, it can't go up because I'd have to put a 9 here and they'd be a 0 sandwich sum. So that's not what it is. So it has to go down. I can't put the crust here. So it has to take at least those digits. The minimum here is 9. So the 13 is the X sum because the minimum here is 9 plus 3, which is 12. And the minimum here is 4. So the total is way above 13. So we know 20 is the sandwich. So 13 is the X sum. And this has to be a 4. This must be a 4 because I can't go as high as 5 and 1, 2, or 3 are gone. So those 4 digits sum to 13. So 4, this is 3. So those 2 digits sum to 10. That's a 6. That's a 7. That's a 3. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are an 8, 9 pair. Which means this is the 1, this is the 9. These now see 1 and 9, so those are green, and there's a 9 in one of those two. But it can't be here, because it's a 20 sandwich. And if this was the 1 and the 9, that would need to sum to 35 minus 20 and be a 15. This is the 9. And this is not the 9, which means it's green. And those digits there need to sum to 20. Well, I'm at 9, 15, that's a 5, that's a 3. And those digits now sum to 20. And the 20 sandwich is done. How did I do this? This is not a 3 anymore, or a 7, that's a 6. These two digits are known. 1, 2, 5. No. I've got a 2. 5 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 5 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an 8. The 7 looks across, making that the 5 and that the 7. The 13x sum is also done. I've done all of the clues. How did I pull this off? The 6 is looking up saying this isn't the 6. This is the 6. This has to be a 7 or an 8 because every other digit is placed, and 7 is looking across, making that the 8, that the 7, which means this is the 9, which means it's yellow. This is a green 8. That makes this the 1, this the 9, this the 1, this the 9. There's no 9 in either of those. This is a 1-3 pair. There must be a 9 in one of those, and it can't be there. This is the 9. Wrong mode. This is the 9, which is yellow. This is green. There's a 1 in one of those two now, so these are both green. This triple is 2, 4, 5. There's no 2 there or 5. That's the 4, which makes that the 8, that the 4, taking 4 out of both of those. These are 1, 2, 3, 1 and 8. And the 8 is already in column 6, so that's the 1, that's the 8, meaning that's yellow, that's green. These are both green now. There must be a 1 in one of those two. It's going to be this summing on the X. This digit is a 6. This digit is a 7. There's no 2 in those. These are 4 and 7. So what are these digits? 1, 2, and no, I've broken the puzzle. I've got 2 9s in row 7. So how did that happen? This is wrong. Is this right? This is right. So let's continue from here. This is 8, this is 7. So where did I go wrong? I've actually lost my replay, so I couldn't see where I went wrong, but I think I put a 7 there for some reason. Okay, I've rolled back to here. I don't know where I went wrong. I think I just did pencil mark errors because this is after I did all of these deductions. So all of these clues are done. And I was very happy with that. So I think I've just messed up the Sudoku in my excitement. Let's start again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7 go into those. The 7 makes this the 5 and this the 7. This 9 makes this 1, which makes this 9, this 1, this 9, which makes this 8 and this 9. Yellow and green. One is not here anymore. Oh, actually, 1 is not in any of these anymore. Please tell me this is correct. 1 is in one of those two. This is 7 or... No, 7 makes this 8 and this 7. I think this is where I went wrong. This isn't a 7-8 pair. That's where I went wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5. I put a 7 there for some reason. These are 1, 2, and 4. There's no 2 there. Eight looks up, taking 8 out of there. 4 looks up, making this the 6. There's no 6 there. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goes there. This digit is a 6. There's a 1 in one of those two. There's a 3 in one of those two. This is a 2-5 pair. The 9 looks across, making that the 3 and that the 9. So we get yellow and green. And this is a 2-5 pair, meaning this is the 3 and this is the 1. Yellow and green. Trying to get the coloring right messes me up sometimes. That's not an excuse. It's just what happened. And I'm floundering on this puzzle terribly. There's no 1 here anymore. So 1 is in one of those two. But these need to have the same sum. There's no 2 in either of those. So if this is 7, those need to have the same sum. But the total of those digits, the total of those 4 digits, well, hang on. If this is 7 and that, if this is, whichever one is a 7 must go with a 2. Because if I did 7, 5, the other one would be 2, 4, and the sums aren't the same. But if I add all of these digits together, I'm at 18. So each of these has to sum to 9. So 7 goes with 2 and 4 goes with 5. Can I use that? Yes, because 7 means that's the 4, that's the 7, so that's the 2 and that's the 5. There's no 2 there. The 4 makes that the 1, which is yellow. This is now green. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 5. This is 2, 4, 8. All of these are green. This is the 1, which is yellow. So this is, well, let's get rid of all the green now. No. Color mode. Let's get rid of all the green because I don't need it. I finally got all the yellow. The 1 makes this the 4, which makes this the 8, which makes this the 4, which makes this the 2, which makes this the 8. And that is the correct solution to the puzzle. I can't believe I solved that. Like, this is the sort of puzzle that BremSter is normally terrible at. I'm picking on BremSter. Deal with it. This is the sort of puzzle that BremSter is normally atrocious at. And there were times when I just could not see how this could solve. And then... So I'm a little bit astounded. And I made some Sudoku mistakes here, but I was getting a little overwhelmed. I kind of couldn't believe that I'd figured out the clues. But that is what a master setter can do. And rockratzero is nothing short of a master quality setter. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. I can't believe I've been sitting on this pack for so long. Oh, I've done the puzzle world a disservice. I'm now extremely motivated to try and get this pack out as soon as I can. I'll do what I can for you all. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy this puzzle half as much as I did, because then you will have all of the joy in the world. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.